Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald. I'm here to do my Reddit Ask Me Anything. Gene at the Washington Post is helping me today. Do you celebrate Canadian or American Thanksgiving? Haha, Canadians have a tendency to steal American holidays and make them before the American holidays. It's a very cunning form of fest that only Canadians can pull off. Which comedian makes you laugh the most? Of all time, Richard Pryor. At this moment, Brian Regan. What are your favorite fruits and vegetables? I guess Richard Simmons and Terry Schiavo. I'm now using Bob Hope's old writers. All your fans love your podcast. David Letterman, your hero, loves your podcast. Everyone seems to love your podcast. Why do you seem so embarrassed by it, or like you hate doing it? I did my podcast in order to see if I could host a talk show. And I think I succeeded and have now been offered a talk show by Netflix. All the podcasts were rehearsals. Edit. To be clear, I'm only in negotiations. There's no show yet. What has been the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome in your career? Due to multiple herniated discs, my pain level on a normal day is through the roof. Norm, what is your opinion of Gene, who works at the Washington Post? He's the greatest. Which 4 comedians would be on your Mount Rushmore of stand-up comedy? Richard Pryor, me, Steve Martin, Brian Regan. What are you reading right now? Do you have any thoughts on Thomas Pinchon? I'm reading Search for Lost Time by Marcel Proust. I find Pinchon to be the most knowing writer of our time. Norm, to what, if any, extent do you portray a persona, whether that be on stage or in various interviews? I've often seen interviews where the host seems shocked at some of your answers, such as saying you don't participate in sex because you find it boring, or your love for Russian literature, etc. I tend to take it at face value because you seem sincere when talking about these things. So, am I the idiot for believing you, or are others the idiots for not? No, I'm absolutely sincere. What's your favorite line to say in Mike Tyson's Mysteries? I like the cursing that makes no sense and interjects itself, like, cock motherfucking son of a cunt bitch. Hello Norm. Did you do your amazing Burt Reynolds impression before SNL? Also, do you have any stories from Celebrity Jeopardy that we might not know about? I did do Burt Reynolds, and that's why I created Celebrity Jeopardy, so I could do my Burt Reynolds. No one ever mentioned that I played Burt Reynolds as a 35-year-old. Norm, I love you. If you could have a superpower, what would it be? Immortality. Norm, I love your book and loved the audiobook version the most. Is there any chance of the TV or movie adaptation happening? Also, how's a fella go about getting you to sign his copy of your book at one of your shows? Please come back to Jersey or Philly soon. Yes, a movie adaptation is worked on as we speak. You could send the book to Mark Gervitz at Brillstein Gray and I'll sign it for you. How close were you to becoming a late-night show host? Razor thin close. What is the most profound piece of life advice has a random stranger ever given you? A person once said to me that the homeless never get touched, and that without human touch, the mind veers toward madness. So the homeless people I approach, I always give my money to, whatever it is I have, and I always hug them or touch them. At what point in your life, career, did you realize you were not everyday person level funny, but comedian level funny? I thought I was comedian level funny during my first year of comedy. 5 years I realized I wasn't actually that level of funny. But 5 years after that I realized I was comedian level funny. So 10 years into my stand-up. How do you build the perfect taco? You start with a Mexican guy and you pay him a $1.35. Did you ever carry around a tape recorder to take your notes to self in real life? Yes, I do. I'm constantly talking to my phone. Whenever an idea occurs. Sometimes I don't say enough. I'll dictate, large coffee cup, and have no idea of what I thought was funny about that subject. Norm, have you ever listened to your farts, I mean really listened to them, to see if you can hear words within them that could serve as a warning of something horrific to come? I'm speechless. Do you have more fun performing stand-up or hosting your talk show? I have more fun hosting my talk show because I've already perfected stand-up. Norm, I've been waiting to ask you this. Many years ago, maybe 10 years or so, you had a show at Tulane University. I had skipped dinner to see your show and went to your green room after the show to get your autograph and a picture. I saw you had quite the spread from Boar's Head and I asked you for your turkey sandwich. You replied, "Are you seriously asking me for my sandwich right now?" I said, "Yes, and you gave me 2 sandwiches actually." My questions are, do you remember that, and did you think the sandwich was dry? I saw Norm while at Tulane in 2008 or 2009. My friend and I both got autographs from him with Norm advice on it. My friend's autograph said, "Don't do drugs." Mine said, "Do drugs." Will there be a dirty work too? There are people who want to make it, but I've yet to make up my mind. What is the best and worst part of doing stand-up comedy? The best part is standing on the stage with your comedy being able to turn a passive audience into an unruly mob. The worst part of stand-up comedy is the insane pressure on the spine and lower back from standing up for so many hundreds of hours. Do you have a favorite story of messing with a talk show host? I've never messed with a talk show host. I'm just trying to make my segment as spontaneous and interesting as I saw talk show guests be when I was a boy. Where do you get your ideas from? Ideas exist outside of man, and drift into one's consciousness if one allows it. None of these ideas are mine. I only take them from the ether and put them back out in a more solid form. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss more awesome videos.